here I am in bed. I've been in bed for the last, seems like an eternity, but I've caught a cold a couple days ago, so I've been in bed for the last 2 days. However, yesterday, when I did get enough energy, I went outside because it was nice out and ended up raking leaves, cleaning out my gardens and doing things, and ran myself down again. And then of course a storm came in and blew all more leaves everywhere, so it looked like I didn't even do anything. And I really put myself down. I got really sick from that, but I feel better today. Yeah, when I get out of bed to do something, I keep getting these dizzy spells, like vertigo. I'm very familiar with this. It is part of the energy. My body's acclimating to the new energy from this eclipse and all the other CMEs and whatnots that are here right now with us all. Very familiar with this sensation, and I remember this from years ago when I was first waking up. Started in 2012 for me, and I progressively fought it for a few years before I surrendered completely to it. I completely surrendered in 2018. However, 2017 is when I surrendered, but then I kind of went back into my own dark night of the soul, or soul shock, I call it, because it was just very shocking to me and not familiar. So I did kind of go back down into my own dungeon for another year until 2018. I had another event come and really shake me up, and since then I've been wide awake and very in tune with my energy, with what's going on here with me. Anyway, and it seems that every time I share my experiences, there are others out there that are having very similar or the exact same experiences as me, and it seems to help when I share. So anyway, now that I'm feeling better, except for I can't seem to get out of bed fully, I figured I would record this. I tried to come on to Facebook Live, and it won't let me. So I took that as a sign, and sat and meditated for a little while, and realized that me just talking, sharing some of my experiences seems to flow really nicely, and seems to really help me. When I talk about my experiences, it helps me out of a rut, and it also helps some other people too. So we had the lunar eclipse last night. I was awake. I did wake up about 10 minutes before 4 o'clock. No, actually I woke up at 3. It was 3:30, maybe even 3:33. I don't know. I didn't look at the clock right away. But I walked out into my kitchen, and I have skylights in my kitchen and my bathroom, and I could see the moon, the shadow starting to form around the moon. And then I did fall back asleep for a very short period of time, but then woke back up, and the clouds came out. I was able to see some of the red moon for just a brief period of time, but then we had a lot of clouds. So I went back to bed. I went back to sleep. Woke up about 7:30, completely, again, soaking wet in sweat. And the funny thing is, my house here, I'm kind of doing a little experiment, because we have an old house, and it's typically heated with oil radiator heat. When we had the remodeling done, I had a mini split put into my kitchen, which gives air conditioning and heat. And I'm in my bedroom, of course, back from the kitchen. I've been utilizing only the mini split for my heat. So it's cold, basically, in my bedroom at night. I do have a space heater if it got really cold, but I didn't have that on. So it was very, very interesting how hot, overheated, and sweaty I was. And yes, you could say I've been battling a cold. Maybe it was like, my body's way of, cleansing all of that out. And most likely so. It's probably cleansing out a lot of toxins from my body. But this is probably why we're all sweating in our sleep right now, because I've had these night sweats during times where I was not sick. And it's funny because I have not had a cold or any sort of sickness or virus since 2000 and I want to say 17, possibly 18. No, not even 2018, since 2017. And anybody who knows me from back then knows that I was very susceptible to catching a lot of viruses. Pneumonia, I was hospitalized a lot for pneumonia and bronchitis, mostly my teenage and adult life. So it's funny how when I had my awakening and I surrendered to it, my body actually naturally healed itself and became more resilient on its own. This is consciousness at its best work. So, I just wanted to share some of my experiences, some of the messages that I've been getting over the course of the last few days leading up to this eclipse energy. And I do feel a shift. I still feel weird. I feel like there's something that's happening within the collective that I'm not really sure of fully. But what I will tell you, and I know that I've had this experience in my past, mostly when I fought the awakening process myself, because it seems scary and unfamiliar, yet familiar. It's a very uneasy place to be, because there's a part of you inside that really feels like home is calling to you and something finally makes sense to you. Yet everything on the outside of you, your family, your friends, your community, they suddenly don't seem very familiar to you, yet they are, because that's your whole past. It's a very tough place to be in, and I feel like there are a lot of people in the collective right now that are in this place. And when we're in that sort of stage of awakening, what tends to happen is the body, I think I was talking about this the other day in my video, one of my videos, the body will start to do all the talking for you, the communication to you. Like mine is to me. Each time I try to get up to do something, I get a complete dizzy spell, vertigo. And I know it's like it's not time for me to get up and do anything. Of course, when I have to get up and do something, say I have to get up and go to the bathroom, I'm fine. But if I have something in my mind, like I really need to go to the store today because I am out of food, and that's probably something I will be able to do eventually. But it's funny how, I wanted to make a video because I was bored, really, and I have a lot of messages that came through, and I wanted to share them. And the dizzy spells would pick up again. So it's interesting. But what I wanted to say is, excuse me. Typically, and especially in this energy, starting to wake up to more of your true nature and your true self and the true nature of life. Yet you're probably not feeling 100% sure of it all. And so this is when it's important to listen to the body. If you're in situations or around people, this energy is really going to make you listen to your own personal energy, which is communicated through the body. So if you're in a situation or around somebody that you're no longer in resonance with, And you kind of knew this, but you're able to sort of like, oh yeah, that's just so-and-so, or, it's fine. No, it won't work this time. You're going to get nausea, dizzy spells. Your body's going to react big time. This is your energy speaking to you. And I want to make this clear because it can seem like there's something physically wrong with you when this happens. And maybe this is why my body's been reacting to me so much, just to myself, to give me this message to share, because it reminded me of my experience years ago when I really did think that there was something wrong with me, until I got the very clear message that it wasn't me. It was the situations I was putting myself in or remaining in that no longer were in resonance with who I am at a soul level, where my energy is at that point in time. So yeah, the body will react and respond, and it may make you feel like there's something wrong with you, something seriously physically wrong with you. And this is not a doctor, so certainly go to the doctor, get yourself checked out, because I did. And I was fine. There wasn't anything that a doctor could find that was wrong. Yet you know that there's something your body's telling you. And this is what this energy is that we're in right now. We're kind of learning how to listen to our own energy field, listen to our body, talk to us. Because you're not going to be able to do what you used to do and kind of just skirt around it or blow it off to the side like it's no big deal. This is new energy that we're in, and I'm feeling it for sure. That was one of the main messages that came through for me to share. I know that there can be a lot of confusion through this part of the journey for some. And I've been there, I know. And I still have my own confusing parts too, but they're not quite as intensely confusing as they were in the beginning for me, because I didn't have anybody to guide me. I had my guides, but I can't see my guides. I could feel them. It's very interesting how my journey played out for myself. And everybody's unique and different. But I do know that I was put through the ringer for a reason. I was put through all of the tests and challenges and physical challenges, to the point where I literally didn't think that I was going to be living a few years ago. I had a few near-death experiences in my life. And the most abrupt one hit me in 2017. And I never spoke about it to anybody. It scared the shit out of me, though. So, where was I going with that? Trust yourself. Trust what your body's telling you. Trust what you're feeling. Trust what you're picking up from other sources, because you do have guidance around you. It's very subtle. It might not be so subtle right now, which is easier to pick up on. But there are also many people similar to me here on this planet who have already gone through these processes and have a greater understanding as to that part of the journey, to kind of usher you out of the old and into the more genuine and true energy that is you. We may be able to help guide you through the rough parts of the journey. And that's basically why some of us wake up before others. We all have our roles and our places here, and it doesn't place us higher or lower. This is not a competition, and this is not a race at all. I definitely get hung up on a lot of things in life myself, for sure. And I have my own challenges and frustrations, and my journey is not easy either. But it's way better than it used to be. And it's way better than it was when I was still like a sleepwalker, when I was still in that hypnosis state that the masses we've all been put into, like a spell or a hypnosis type of state, a program that we eventually wake up out of. And then when we do, we're like, we don't know what to do. But I want you to know that there is a lot of good guidance out there. There's a lot of egos that think they can guide also. This is where discernment comes into play. If you come across somebody who you feel like their spiritual ego is super, like, I know it all and this is my way is the way, that is a red flag for you right there, because nobody's way is the way in this journey. This is your journey. This is our journey. However, it's not a one size fits all journey. And that is the important thing to know. It is all energy, and it's an energy exchange, energy and our emotion. And it's a beautiful process. And once you get the hang of it and understand it for yourself, you'll understand what I'm saying half the time. I feel like most people still don't understand the words that come out of my mouth, and that's fine too, because in due time, I've had enough verification and clarification to myself to know that even if I reach one person on this planet and help them through expressing my part of the journey, I'm good. It is, we help each other out that way. So I guess that's all I really wanted to say for now. Listen to your body, because the body speaks volumes, especially right now, because we are in a huge energetic shift. And like I said, the energy is not going to really change. It's not going to go back. It's going to continue to rise. So we have to catch up with it. Our bodies are catching up with it. Our minds are catching up with it. Our energy is catching up with it. And it can be uncomfortable at times. And so when you need to rest, rest. When you need to ask for help, ask for help. You'll find that the old ways of coping aren't really going to work for you this time around. It might actually do more damage for you than good. Sometimes we have to learn that the hard way, though. I certainly have. and there are times where I still fall back into old patterns, depending on what planet is hitting me that day and how many times I was triggered. We're human. We're going to make those mistakes, and you'll continue to make those mistakes until you have a giant aha moment that kind of propels you out of that to not do that again. When you're a child and you touch a hot stove, you kind of know you're not going to do that again. But sometimes we have to burn ourselves a few times before we really learn the lesson. And that is another part of the journey. Unfortunately, that's part of how we learn and our growth here in life. I guess that's all I want to share for right now. I know I have a lot more, but all of a sudden I started to get a very strange drop in energy. So I'm going to sign off this for right now. I think that's good for now. Take care, everybody. Bye.